Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be continuing the restoration of the SR600 and today in this video we're going to concentrate on the front brake master cylinder. We're going to strip this down, have a look at it, make sure it's all okay, see if we need to order some new parts, and yeah, we'll take it from there as we go along. So let's start off by removing the banjo bolt. Get rid of that. Now we've got our two copper washers on there which we ought to renew, so I'll make a mental note to get some of those ordered. That bolt has been anodised, black anodised, so that can go in the box of bits to be anodised. The easiest way of doing this, let's take off the handlebar mount. Let's get rid of that. Doesn't seem to be any. Some of these have got arrows on them for the way up they're meant to go, but this one doesn't seem to have. But again, we've got two bolts there which can go for zinc plating. Okay, I'll put the next thing to do is take the lever off. So we've got a Allen screw which goes all the way through, or a bolt, and then a nut on the other side, securing nut. So see if we can get that undone for a start. It's nicely corroded. I can just see in there, don't know if you can see down into there, but there's a spring in there which is, I'm guessing, is to make sure the lever goes back to its resting position. So that's likely to fly out when we take this off, so we'll hold it like this just in case. These jobs are always easier when you're not filming, because you have to be mindful not to get your hands in the way of what you're doing for the camera. It's coming. Once we thread it all the way through that. Carefully separate this. Yep, there's our spring. Yeah, okay. So basically, the spring just sits in that little groove there and into that hole, just to make sure the lever returns properly. That's been yellow/gold and zinc plated, so I'll clean that up. It might be alright, otherwise I can plate it. And then we've got our screw and nut for that. Again, that's going to go for zinc plating. Okay, let's just have a look at the lever. It's definitely reusable. It's not been scraped or dropped. It's not bent, so that may clean up nicely. Looks like there's a spacer in there. Let's just pop that out. Yep. And then we've just got a nut and bolt, sorry, a nut and a screw I should say, and there is an adjuster just to set the free play on the lever. That can come out. There's my screwdriver. Right, so just while we're talking about this, I don't think we mentioned this before on the channel, but Japanese bikes don't use standard Phillips head screws or cross head screws. They look like it, but they're what they call JIS screws, or Japanese industry standard screws, and you really therefore need proper GIS screwdrivers to fit properly. This is why on old bikes so many of these heads are chewed off, because somebody's used Phillips screwdrivers or posi drive screwdrivers or whatever on them, when in actual fact they should be using GIS screwdrivers. They're easily obtainable off Amazon or wherever. They don't cost very much for a set. Okay, that's that one. So that's our lever stripped down. I think that'll clean up quite nicely. Perhaps needs a coat of paint on that. Right, so that leaves us with our master cylinder. The inspection window is, it doesn't look too bad. It might clean up inside. You can get these again. You can order these. They just pop out and push back in normally. There's a little micro switch here, which is the brake light switch. So we'll undo that. Is that the right size screwdriver? Yep. No, maybe we won't. Maybe a bit of penetrating oil on that, I think. Bit of the old plus gas on there, just to free that up. We'll have another go at that in a minute. Now this was, I have been out on this bike after I bought it, so I know that none of the brakes were seized, there was nothing leaking, everything was working properly. So I'm not expecting to have to really buy any kind of rebuild kit for this. If it needs it, I will do, but we'll see how we go. Right, let's try getting these undone. Oh, wow, they are properly tight. Okay. Yeah. Right, it's had a few minutes on those as well, I think. With the plus gas, so let's try and see if we can get this one done. Oh, yep, that's gone now. I was in the way of the camera again, sorry. Okay, so that's our brake light switch. So that's fine, and a little screw that goes with it. Go in there. Right, let's give these another go. A bit more plus gas on those. Leave it a few minutes and we'll come back to that. So I've left them for quite a while longer. I have applied a little bit of heat just with a little little flame gun thing. This one has come loose. So that's good. And the head isn't, no, the head on that one's okay. This one, however, I'm afraid, don't know if you can see that, but that's basically just started to go now. Its head's gone, even with the JS screwdriver. That's just turning in there. So the only option now really is to either cut something across it and then try it like that. We could perhaps try a punch on it, or try a punch on it, or failing that, we may have to drill that out. Right, I'm going to have a cup of tea and consider the options. Okay, so I've been away, I've had a cup of tea and a think, and it is best sometimes just to walk away from these problems, if particularly if you're getting frustrated. Have a think and then come back and have another go. While I was drinking my cup of tea, I suddenly realised I'd got a set of these. So these are, I can get the lid off, extraction tools. So I'll show you the big one. So basically what this is a hardened surface with a screw thread on it that goes the opposite way to what a screw thread would normally do, I suppose, if that makes any sense. So if I put my finger in there and I turn it, as I'm turning it anti-clockwise, you can see it's going in. So what the idea of that is that you put it into whatever, you drill a hole into whatever's stuck. Could be a say a screw that's completely come away, or it could be a stud that you can't get out, whatever it happens to be. In this case, it's a screw with a turned off head. So what I've done is I have drilled that slightly, just from the point of view of so the extractor can get further down into the hole, give it half a chance. Right, so I'm going to be using this size, and I've got, this is just a standard tap holder, but it's perfect for this. Okay, fingers crossed, let's give this a go. You put it in, turn, there it goes. Got it. Perfect. Hopefully that's all going to come out now. So all that's happened there is we've effectively cut our own thread down into the hole that the in the screw that we drilled, and then as you turn this into that, it cuts its own thread into there, and because it's tapered, it gets to a certain place where this hole's so big it can't turn anymore, and either you're going to snap this or you're going to snap this off, or something else more drastic is going to happen. But in this case we're quite lucky, and that has come out. They were in tight, properly tight. I can't imagine the last time they were off, to be honest. But clearly that needs to go on our shopping list now, because we are going to need some new screws for that. So okay, let's see if we can get the lid off. Let's see what we've got in here then. Ooh. Okay, so pretty standard stuff. We've got our lid, and then we've got our gasket, which needs some cleaning up, but it looks in pretty good condition. Doesn't look too bad. And then in here we've got some very old gunky looking fluid left. I don't quite like that, isn't it? That's how it lifts out. I'm going to go and clean this out, and then we'll come back and have a look at what else we've got in there. Okay, well, I've emptied it out. I haven't cleaned it out properly yet, but there's like a little plate in here which moves. Not quite seen anything like that before, but well, let's just see if we can grab that. Okay, so I don't quite know what the purpose of that plate is. Maybe it's just to stop any muck possibly going down into those holes that are there. And now of course I don't know, because it wasn't completely flat in there. It was down at one side. One side was definitely pushed more up. Yeah, it won't go all the way flat. It just sits in there like that. So I'll check that in the manual, but I'm going to have to assume at the moment that's how it's meant to work. So let's get that back out. That's that, and there we're left with that right old gooey mess. So we've still got, what else can we take off this? So we've got our mechanism here which operates the fluid itself, which in theory will come out as well. I'll have to give that a little bit more investigation first. Okay, so next job is we'll get all this cleaned up in the parts washer, Probably put it through the ultrasonic as well, blow it out with compressed air. Because I know this was working perfectly okay before I stripped it, I'm not going to disturb this piston here. I'm just going to leave that in place. I can see it's doing its job. So this has now been through the parts washer. To be honest, there's still pretty cruddy in there. There's lots of baked on, nasty, dried on brake fluid. So I think first job is put this through the ultrasonic cleaner. The lid itself, that can go in the shot blaster. Take this back to bare metal. The whole thing will be sprayed black, and then to get the lettering back and the lines, that because they're all the same level, I'll just be able to rub that up and down some wet and dry, and that will bring that back. So that's much easier than trying to mask off all the little fiddly bits. So that's that. Then all of these bits will get a coat of, in fact these will be blasted as well, and they'll get a coat of satin black. If the ultrasonic cleaner doesn't get all of this out, then we can try soaking this in some acetone overnight, or some very strong vinegar. We can use either of those. Looking at the state of this on the outside, I probably will blast this, but I need to be careful because my blaster has currently got glass beads in it, not soda. If it was soda, it wouldn't be a problem at all, because soda dissolves in water. So I could blast it, put it back into the ultrasonic cleaner for 30 minutes, and all the soda would be gone. If I put glass beads in, there's a chance, if I get glass beads in here rather, there's a chance that the glass beads are going to end up getting in these holes, and you know, then we're in trouble at that point. So I think what I'll probably do is put the seal and the lid back on, block up the hole here, and then blast it. But so I want to try and get all this gunge out from the inside first. So time for the ultrasonic cleaner. So the ultrasonic cleaner, this is only a small one, but it works very well for carburetors, that type of thing. So if you haven't seen one of these before, basically you put a liquid in there. In this case I think it was actually carb cleaner, or a special solution I should say, for cleaning carburetors. And then, well, this one's got a tray that comes out as well. So I'll switch it on around the back. Okay, and we haven't got a lot of settings on here. We've basically got a temperature setting. So we want a target temperature of 50. It's actually 23 at the minute, so I'll switch that on, and that'll start the temperature going up. It is slow, but once the machine's actually running, it's quite quick to rise. Temperature's quite quick to rise. So let's drop our, let it go in there, fill the whole thing. Yep. Looks like it just, oh, that's it, just below the surface. Perfect. So put the lid back on, and then we just set the time down here, minutes and seconds. So I think it goes up to 30. Yeah, presumably we can go the other way. I think, yeah, 30. Hit on, and you'll hear it come on. That's it. That's working away. The ultrasonic cleaner just finished, so let's have a look at what we've got. This water's quite hot now, so it's 50 degrees. Okay, let's bring that back to the bench and take a look at that. Well, it's better than it was, but it's still pretty manky in there, to be perfectly honest. So I think that's going to go for an overnight soak. Probably in some... I think I might put it in vinegar, some strong vinegar. I'm going to try that for a start, just in case the acetone eats anything away I can't see, that, you know, plastic parts or the inside here. So, yep, okay. So that's going in vinegar overnight. We'll come back and have a look at that in another video. I've now blasted the top, and as I said, that'll get sprayed black, and then to get the writing back, as it's all raised at the same level, that'll just get moved along some wet and dry paper, and that'll bring that back. So that's fine. So I'm happy with those. While we're on it, we've got the other, well, this is a clutch lever from the other side, obviously. And we might as well take this apart, I think, because we can do all these bits and pieces at the same time as we're doing the rest of the zinking. This one will need respraying because it's got a chip out of the ball on the end, but it's not bent, it looks fine. So we'll strip this and we'll move on to something else. Right, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos as they come along, and I'll catch you up in the next one.